The meeting of a man and a woman always holds a potential spark, an opportunity for something greater to begin. At the very start of a relationship, a man often feels confident, as if he holds all the strings in his hands. But imagine a situation. Instead of the expected attachment and fight for his attention, the woman unexpectedly lets him go. What happens at that moment? Here, an ancient, instinctive response awakens in the depths of the male consciousness. This feeling is akin to a suddenly flaring flame that has long been dormant under the ashes of everyday life. Carl Jung, a prominent researcher of the human psyche, argued that true love grows not from a sense of possession, but from freedom and mystery. When a man realizes that he is not vital to a woman, the very real attraction that is rarely found in the modern world is born in him. This is not just a manipulative trick, but a direct manifestation of the collective unconscious, where the archetypes of search and belonging manifest with incredible force. Remember how often you can observe a picture when a man is literally obsessed with a woman who seems unapproachable and aloof. Is this a coincidence, or is there something much deeper hidden behind this phenomenon? Jung's discoveries about archetypes can provide a key to understanding why men are particularly fond of women who are willing to let them go. What will be revealed next is capable of radically changing the perception of relationships between men and women. Have you ever wondered if the real secret to winning a man lies not in actively seeking to conquer him, but in giving him the opportunity to fall in love himself? At first glance, this may seem paradoxical because inner beliefs often push you to the opposite. To take the initiative, prove your importance, seek attention. However, this is the key point. The desire for control can become the very obstacle that prevents the emergence of a real, deep connection. The human mind is structured in such a way that our perception of the world is formed through the prism of symbols, archetypes, and unconscious behavioral patterns. And here is the paradox. When we try to forcibly evoke love, we unwittingly prevent its natural flowering. The great psychologist Carl Jung argued that love does not tolerate coercion because its origins lie in the depths of the unconscious, and it grows stronger only when there is room for fantasies and idealization. Imagine, if you give a man the opportunity to feel the lack of your presence, to give him the necessary freedom to show his own initiative, his thoughts will begin to fill the resulting void with deep meaning. It is this psychological process that gives rise to the very connection that goes beyond the ordinary. But as soon as you try to take control of the situation, showering him with messages or persistently proving your importance, you will destroy this delicate mechanism. Instead of leaving room for idealization, you will turn into an easily predictable figure, and predictability, as you know, kills charm and deprives you of mystery. Real attraction arises not in the process of chasing, but thanks to the presence of a strong female archetype, a woman who is aware of her value and does not need constant confirmation from the outside. Men fall in love not with those who are ready for anything for their attention, but with those who are in harmony with themselves, who radiate confidence and inner strength. This is not just a game or a clever trick, but a deep understanding of the laws of the human psyche. When you become the source of your own value, your inner energy changes. And believe me, men feel it, even if they can't always explain it in words. They instinctively gravitate towards what they cannot fully possess, because it is this sense of mystery and inner fullness that awakens in them the desire for a real, deep connection. Carl Jung, an outstanding researcher of the human soul, argued that in the depths of our self lie powerful unconscious forces that have a decisive influence on our aspirations and choices. A man does not find true love in the one who submissively obeys his will, but in a woman whose existence awakens in him the need for self-knowledge and personal growth. Paradoxically, letting go of the situation is not a sign of defeat, but a manifestation of inner strength. By freeing herself from the desire to control another person and directing energy to her own development, a woman becomes unforgettable. True love grows in an atmosphere of freedom, not in the clutches of dependence. Remember how often you have met people with magnetic attractiveness, those who do not make efforts to please, and that is why they seem irresistible. This is not just a lucky coincidence, but the result of a deep understanding of the laws of the human psyche. Today, we'll delve into the essence of this knowledge to understand what truly makes a man experience deep and lasting feelings. The information you gain has the power to forever change your perception of relationships. When a woman exudes confidence and inner peace, it has a powerful effect on a man's subconscious. She sends a non-verbal signal that she doesn't need to control, hold on to, or manipulate him. It is this energy that awakens genuine attraction. Jung taught that the human unconscious operates with complex symbols and patterns of behavior. When a man feels free from pressure and obligations, his mind opens up to new sensations and experiences. Freedom creates fertile ground for the development of sincere feelings. The art of seduction lies in understatement, in the ability to create an aura of mystery around yourself. Providing personal space for your partner is a powerful catalyst for his curiosity and attraction. When a man doesn't feel the burden of expectations or the need to make immediate decisions, his subconscious mind begins to actively work on establishing an emotional connection. He immerses himself in thought, keenly feels your absence, and rethinks how important you are to him. This island of freedom, where there is no room for pressure or control, paradoxically does not repel him, but on the contrary, allows him to form a deeper and more multifaceted understanding of you. Instead of imposing your vision of the situation with persistent actions or a flood of words, you give him the opportunity to perceive your personality as something intrinsically valuable and organic. Carl Jung, a prominent Swiss psychologist, compared the process of becoming an individual to a path of individuation, where each person must independently travel their unique route. In the context of relationships, this principle takes on special significance. An excessive desire to hold on to a partner by putting undue pressure on them often leads to the opposite effect, the emergence of distance and alienation. Like a skittish butterfly that flies away from sudden movements, a man instinctively distances himself, feeling cornered. However, when an atmosphere of trust and freedom reigns in a relationship, he is more willing to get closer, driven by his own desire. This is not manipulation, but a reflection of the natural nature of human attraction. Letting go of the situation is not a sign of weakness or surrender, but a manifestation of faith in your own attractiveness, in the value of what you can offer your partner, and in the fact that sincere feelings will always find their way to each other. Deep down, every person strives to make their choice conscious and independent. If a man is truly interested in you, he won't need additional incentives in the form of pressure or obsession. Confirmation of his feelings will always be reflected in his actions, not just in beautiful words. True attraction manifests itself not in empty promises, but in the consistency of showing interest, in a genuine desire to be around, and in how he demonstrates that your presence plays an important role in his life. Genuine interest is revealed in the finest details. A man captivated by feelings captures in his memory those little things that escape the attention of others. He shows care, asking how your trip went, recalling minor episodes from your recent conversations. He does this not out of a sense of duty, but at the behest of his heart, because deep down he realizes that your presence in his life is not just a formality, but a valuable gift. Ultimately, true affection is expressed not in beautiful words, but in concrete actions. And when this becomes obvious, there comes an understanding that the secret of magnetism lies not in chasing someone, but in transforming into a person that someone will want to choose again and again. The human essence is manifested not so much in words, but in feelings and the aura that we radiate. Therefore, it is important to pay attention not only to the actions of a man, but also to the feelings that arise next to him. True love manifests itself in constancy and a sincere desire to be together. And this desire arises not from a sense of duty, but from a deep connection between two kindred souls. Jung taught us that the foundation of genuine relationships is not coercion, but natural development. When true harmony reigns, attraction arises not from striving for the ideal, but from accepting yourself as you are. It's not about perfect appearance or memorized compliments, but about the energy you radiate. When a man meets a woman who lives in harmony with herself, possesses a bright personality, and is not afraid to be herself, he feels something special, a presence that does not need approval, but simply exists. This awakens in him a powerful archetype, the desire to be with you not out of necessity, but of his own choice. So, the primary task on the path to acquiring captivating charm is cultivating unwavering self-confidence. Ask yourself, what exactly makes you a unique person? What traits of your own character evoke sincere sympathy in you? Instead of wasting time on fruitless comparisons with others or trying to fit into artificially created frameworks, focus on the unique features that set you apart from the crowd. Once you reconnect with your true self and stop seeking confirmation of your worth in the external world, an amazing transformation will occur. Your inner energy will undergo radical changes. This metamorphosis cannot be imitated or imposed from the outside, since its source lies deep within you, and rest assured, the subconscious of others will instantly catch this change. As the eminent psychologist Carl Jung asserted, the energy we radiate into the universe attracts to us exactly what resonates with it. By bringing your internal frequency into harmony with the type of relationships you dream of, you involuntarily create a powerful field of attraction. Instead of passively waiting for someone to come and fill the gaping void inside you, you become a self-sufficient person, and it is this quality that attracts genuine, deep connections to you. Do not underestimate the power of understatement. Being mysterious does not mean hiding from the world, but rather giving another person the opportunity to gradually discover the facets of your personality. If you strive to control every aspect of the interaction, you deprive your partner of the opportunity to show sincere interest. It is the anticipation of novelty that maintains the unquenchable fire of attraction. Finally, remember that the greatest power of attraction lies not in carefully chosen words or cunning plans, but in the ability to live in the present moment. The strongest connection arises when you are fully present in the now, when you attentively listen to the person you are talking to, laugh heartily, fully surrender to the interaction, without experiencing fear of making an unfavorable impression. Once you cast off the shackles of the fear of being judged and simply allow yourself to be yourself, something truly magical will happen. You will turn into a magnet for others, because true attraction lies not in perfection, but in authenticity. True seduction has nothing to do with manipulation, attempts to control the situation, or sophisticated psychological games. It is born from genuine energy that naturally resonates with the collective unconscious. Carl Gustav Jung, the eminent Swiss psychologist, deeply understood the relationship between our inner world and external reality. He argued that all the events and circumstances that we attract into our lives are a reflection of our internal state. In other words, when a person is in harmony with themselves, when they find confidence and peace, the attraction of the desired happens naturally and effortlessly. Genuine magnetism, the force that attracts people and opportunities to us, is born from the balance between active presence and the ability to provide space for development. This allows desires to mature spontaneously and organically, like a flower blooming under the rays of the sun. Women who leave an indelible mark on the hearts and memories of those around them do not possess any secret knowledge or mysterious formulas. Their difference from others lies not in the use of special seduction techniques, but in a deep awareness of a simple truth. They know who they really are and are not afraid to show it to the world. They do not need constant confirmation of their worth, do not stage dramatic scenes to attract attention, and most importantly, do not experience the fear of losing anyone. Jung called individuation the process of becoming oneself, and it is this process that is the key to building genuine and deep relationships. Unforgettable women do not depend on external recognition because they have already accepted and loved themselves as they are. The secret of their magnetic presence lies in caring for themselves, not only about physical health, but also about mental well-being. These women understand that in order to attract something extraordinary into their lives, it is necessary, first of all, to become the best version of themselves. This does not mean striving for an unattainable ideal, but implies constant self-improvement and development. By investing in their mind, in their inner world, and in their well-being, they transform their aura, making it more attractive and alluring. And as Jung taught us, our internal state, how we treat ourselves, directly affects how others perceive us. Another important factor is awareness of one's own worth. Unforgettable women do not waste time and energy trying to prove something to someone, since they already possess a deep sense of self-sufficiency. This inner confidence allows them not to need external confirmation of their importance. They do not cling to relationships out of fear of loneliness, because they understand that true love is born not from fear of loss, but from freedom of choice and mutual respect. They refuse to hold on to those who seek to leave, realizing that true intimacy grows only from voluntary choice. After all, the real power of attraction lies not in obsessive efforts, but in the natural manifestation of oneself. Desire blossoms in an atmosphere of freedom, in a space where everyone is free to feel and choose their own path. This is deeply rooted in the human subconscious. Having transformed, having ceased to meet other people's expectations, and having found your true essence, you turn into a magnet for others. The difference between an ordinary person and one that leaves an indelible mark lies not in the mastered techniques of seduction, but in the courage to live in accordance with one's truth. Women whose images are imprinted in the hearts of men achieve this not with spectacular gestures or memorized phrases, but with the spectrum of feelings they evoke. They do not impose intimacy, but they do not avoid it either. As Jung taught, a genuine connection arises where there is room for sincerity and timely devotion. When relationships are built on coercion or fear, subconscious barriers arise that repel the other person. True magic happens in the flow of reciprocity, where giving and receiving happen without control or coercion. This is not a strategy, but a deep understanding of human psychology. The difference between a person who cannot be forgotten and a fleeting acquaintance lies in authenticity. It's not about pressure, following rules, or applying formulas. It's about being yourself. Awareness of this transforms everything. You stop seeking approval and start attracting those who value your true essence, because the human psyche unmistakably recognizes the true and rejects the artificial. Jung argued that one who lives in harmony with their truth possesses an irresistible magnetism. It is not a desperate need for love that attracts, but an inner confidence that it will come at the right moment. This is the greatest secret. Unforgettable women do not strive to be such. They simply live, remaining themselves. They do not beg for attention, do not measure their worth by other people's opinions, but live so authentically that it is impossible not to notice them. In relationships, There sometimes comes a moment when the wisest decision is to let a man go. This does not mean capitulating to feelings, but rather creating fertile ground for something truly valuable and in tune with your soul to appear in your life. Futile attempts to hold on to someone who is striving for a different harbor or clinging to relationships that have exhausted themselves only generate internal conflict and drain vitality. As the insightful Jung said, true personal transformation begins with freeing oneself from the obsessive illusion of control. By directing energy towards self-improvement, we gain the ability to transform our lives. When we courageously let go of what has lost its relevance, something amazing happens. We regain our inner strength, our energy field changes, and it is at this moment that the true magnetism of our personality is revealed. The tighter we hold on to something that has lost its harmony, the deeper our suffering becomes. However, accepting reality brings with it a liberation that has a powerful impact on our lives. Our inner vibration changes, and our very presence begins to attract what corresponds to our true value and deep needs.